Is there a room in your home that needs an extreme makeover? Well, at one point this room did, and look at it now. Our consultant from Lazy Boy, designer from Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, I love her, Liz Schlessinger. I have missed you. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
And Liz is here to share the latest trends in furniture designs and colors. So before we ever start any kind of an interior design or remodeling project, there are certain elements to consider, and you as an expert can certainly share some light on what those things would be.
I would say the very first thing you want to consider is your budget. What have you allowed for the project?
Good point.
Color.
Okay.
Size of the room. What's the function of the room? How many family members? Those are the things you want to take into consideration.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people really think about color. I mean, they think, well, I'll go in and I'll look at the different colors, but they're not always considering what that room is as a foundation.
Exactly.
And so that's why it's so nice that you're there to help. And, you know, remodeling and redecorating, it can be very overwhelming. And as somebody who doesn't do it professionally, it also, I think, is about those decisions and trying to go through that decision-making process that makes it so overwhelming. So, I mean, is there an actual step-by-step that we can do?
There is. We try to help that customer with making the decisions, helping them make it, and so they're not so confused on it, because it is a lot to absorb.
Yes.
But we've created a little guideline, a 7-layer design process that will emphasize how important it is to put the proper layers in at and get a layered look and get your dynamic look at the end.
I love that, the 7-layer design. It's much less fattening than a 7-layer cake. Much better for you. Well, you've actually redecorated 2 rooms, okay? So we did one that's contemporary and the other's a little more traditional. So let's look at these layers and how you do this, because I think this is a great way for people to understand that process.
Okay, so here we just have the empty room. Nothing's in it, obviously, just the walls and the floor.
And we have hardwood floors.
Hardwood
so
floors.
You could, I would imagine you take that into consideration as well.
Or you could paint the walls if that's what you want to do.
Okay, so now we go to layer number 2.
Layer number 2, we've introduced the Collins sofa and the zebra print on the left.
That is so cool.
Put a red throw and some pillows for accents.
I can't get over how much pillows make a difference.
This one we've added a red cable yarn area rug, which I think there starts putting the foundation of the color and the texture in there.
And it warms up the room a lot. It just makes it a lot more cozy.
Right.
I think when you have hardwood floors, that's like I have the hardwood floors as well, and I think what happens is it's beautiful and it's classy, but sometimes it feels very cold.
And this does absorb sound, the carpet. But now this one is the glass and wood contemporary table.
Okay.
Comes from the Urbana collection. And to the left, in between the sofa and the chair, there's a little accent piece in there, and to the right, there's a little ottoman. That's a reversible ottoman that you can use as a tabletop tray or an ottoman to sit on.
Is that leather?
It is leather.
Oh, I love that. This is a very funky, you know, to me this is very funky, kind of eclectic.
Right.
And I like that look.
Now this, I think, is the most dramatic. It's the lighting, the lamp on the left, and so that sort of sets the tone too for your ambiance.
Absolutely, and again, it kind of warms up the room, and I think the whole look, I love, what is that called? The one with all the fancy...
It's like it's a torchère, it's a light.
I love that.
It's a lamp of contemporary lighting.
And I like the fact that you don't have to match lamps. I think a lot of people think you do.
Right.
Like you have to match, if you have this lamp on this side of the room, you have to get the same style, but you really don't.
have to. You can make it eclectic.
I love that. Okay, and then we have...
And then this one is almost the finale. This has got the tabletop accessories, the screen, the sconces on the wall, accessories also on the ottomans. So that really is almost completing the room. And then the very last phase is the florals and the greens, exactly. And that brings your outdoors into the house. So it gives it a really nice look with adding the greens.
I love that, and I've done that before, and I have seen that is such a difference, because it just adds a whole new element. And I love on the wall. I love what you've done to the walls, and I love the fact that you put the accessories on the ottoman, because I think a lot of people don't think about that.
Right.
What do? Just put a tray, right?
Right. So
much easier to just add these little things than having to go and, you know, redesign your whole home or redo your place. This is so much better just to add little accessories.
And that's a big element in it.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so that's very contemporary, very kind of Nob Hill, I would say. Right now we get to a more traditional setting, because there are people who like the traditional look. So let's see what we're seeing. There
again, bare room, no furnishings at all.
Pretty windows though.
Pretty windows, more traditional looking.
Okay.
Then there we've added the sofa. This is the Woodrow sofa with the Woodrow chair. It's got curved rolled arms. It's got nail head detail on it. We've added the pillows and throw.
Very regal. And is that I would imagine that's probably a recliner, isn't it?
Yes.
Chair. I love that chair. Okay, so now,
And now,
whoa.
okay, this is the area rug. To me, this is one of the most dramatic pictures because
Yes.
it adds the character, an old world theme. It just adds a lot of a focal point in that particular room.
And I love that you brought blue into it because
Yes.
you see a neutral color room like that and you just don't think about those colors and how they pop, especially with the pillow, the throw, I mean everything. It just brings out all colors in it's kind of like on our set.
Right.
Bringing out different colors across the room with the area rug.
And it pulls the palette, the color palette together. So that's pulling that sofa and that chair palette together with that rug.
Wow. See, this is why we need you because I don't have these visions. Oh my gosh. look
Okay,
at
now
that.
here the table has got some carving on the legs. It's round, which is kind of a nice, instead of having squared or rectangular, it just makes it an easier flow around the room. The grandfather clock has also been added there.
I love that. That's such a traditional look. It really is. It's just so, it's regal, it's classy, but it's very cozy. And I love,
Very inviting.
I just love that, especially in a living room. You want an inviting room where people are going to want to spend time and, and you know, when you have company, that's like the perfect room to me. I love it. And now look at that lamp.
Yes, there's the lamp, and that's a little bit subtle back there, but you want to consider lighting for, like I said earlier, ambiance, but also your tasks, light for tasks, if somebody needs for reading. So you also want to make sure that that's good for the reading element also.
Light for task. I like that. It's kind of just the practical element of your design. Whoa.
And then here is the tabletop accessories. There's also artwork above the sofa and above the chair. So there again, it's the tabletop accessories that have been added on this one.
They really make a huge difference to me. They really do, and especially what you're putting on the wall as well. And you chose, I mean, do you help people choose the art that they put on the wall? Do they ask you a lot?
Sometimes I just put a whole ensemble together and they just go, I like it exactly that way. So we just keep adding and they make the decision of what they want to purchase.
It makes a lot of sense. And now I see a little green.
Yes, and then there's the final with the green on the table. So it's just important to do that layering, and you can see from the beginning to the end how important all of those steps are.
It is amazing. It really is. And it's not, when you think of it in a step-by-step process like that, it doesn't feel as overwhelming. It feels a lot more practical and a lot easier to do. And I think a lot of people are probably asking now, okay, well, we saw contemporary, we saw traditional. Is it okay to blend styles?
It is.
It is?
A lot of times when we go into somebody's house, they'll have sentimental pieces or important pieces that they want to keep, so we work with what they have.
Okay.
And we'll incorporate our furniture with what they have.
That's great.
You know, it's very eclectic, but that's fine to do. You can mix it up.
Yeah, because I think for those who can't make decisions, myself, you kind of sometimes just want to find a blend so you can have a little bit of both and find a way to make it work with somebody who's an expert. And if a homeowner is at a complete loss, does Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries just kind of help them as far as consultants like you? I mean, do you really just help guide people from start to finish?
We do. And there are a lot of people that don't want to do it and don't like the challenge of it. So that's what we're there for, to make it easier for the customers and make it an easy buying experience for them.
So great, and it's so much more than just recliners, and as amazing as they are, I love those too, but there's just so much that is offered, and we're so appreciative that you've informed us and given us these great tips. And I want to tell our viewers where you're located so they can head on over. There are 2 locations. One is at 5004 San Mateo in Northeast, and the other one is 3750 Ellison Northwest, and you can certainly always go to the website for more details, which is right on your screen. Liz Schlessinger, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you being back here.
It's fun to be here.
Thank you so much. And coming up next, we'll tell you what might be lurking in your home and garden that could ruin your summer fun.